small passion. I always talk about, okay, running a startup, how tough it is to be a business owner, what are the trade-offs, what are some of the sacrifices you have to make, what is the long ball game, why do we work 18 hours a day, why do we invest all of our time in our youth to actually get these things done. Why I'm saying this is because we will then be a different company giving a different kind of attention.
Okay, what's the renewal game plan for that? Because he's going to be away till the 22nd. I would suggest to send out an email before he even gets back. Because he's going to be very packed when he comes back because he has to take on 12 clients as to what I know when the both of you leave. So I think there must be some sort of synergy to actually plan out the renewal process so we can actually know how to accommodate the client for January, or else the creatives are going to be stuck, the strategy is going to be stuck.
Shall we then ideate the renewal plan and then...
Correct. So it doesn't have to be super extensive. It can just be a simple email out to her or via WhatsApp and tell her, look, we're coming to the end of your term. Should you want to renew with us, we would like to have a sit down with you. Be it whether when Ashraf comes back or before Ashraf comes back with one of you guys. Because if not, right, it's going to like eat into a lot of our Q1 stuff.
So she said that all this will happen this week. So hopefully we'll have next week. I'll follow up again. So because I followed up today as well. And then she is expecting the first 2 weeks of January's content to be screened to her by the end of this month. So I told her that once we get the corporate identity, we can actually already hash out the first 2 weeks of January in terms of, according to the outline that Alicia has created for Timer.
Okay, are we covering the 15?
What was that?
Are we covering the 15?
Yes.
You are, yes, getting all these things done. It's not okay that you're the only one getting it done.
Yeah. And I don't want you to be the only one.
And I don't want you to feel like, oh, okay, I should take it on anyway because nobody's paying attention, nobody is actually putting that downtime. Sometimes people are not putting the downtime because they don't know that they have to put in that downtime. So you as a leader, you got to put all those like sentiments aside. You got to focus on growing your team. It's very important for us to see the creative end of things at the execution level, and of course at the closing of sales, the communicative part, and then actually meeting in the middle to actually let the client understand the work done and then the retention process. It's a very macro thing. It's not because we're just looking at, oh, okay, we have to make sales, we have to make sales. No, of course we have to make sales because we got people to pay, right? But we will be doing the same thing the next year or the next year and a half or 2 years if we cannot literally hold clients down because of the work out. Like we're 10 days ahead of the renewal. We should already be talking about it 10 days before. Reason being, it gives you more time to actually talk through the strategy, and the strategy can start delegating like so-called work to the creatives, so that in the event if that idea is worked out, like maybe the next 10 days after when you have received the next month's renewal, you can actually have a contingency plan.
Probably a year plan. Yeah. Or you can ask for them, or you can pitch to them.
We basically do consultation for them on all these small pre-production work. Therefore, it doesn't really hit as hard to the video team because we're already doing your 6 to 5 hours and we're already doing TVP. At the same time, we garner enough trust within the industry to become industry's favorites. Because the word of mouth combining with how much legitimacy we have in building in smaller packages for industry, per creative team, per department will end up building it. So at the end of the day, when people associate the word branding, people will associate KFA.
Okay, it's a great idea. Let me talk to you about the macro things. This is who we are, the market. Right? Like people know this company for the two young funds, right? They started off in a cafe with a table this big, okay, and then have 3 people, 4 people, went to New York, knew nothing about the agency, right? Came back and built a 6 or 7 figure company, right? Okay, people know us for that. People know us for scaling by 300% in the first year with 43 employees, and then retrenching, right? Getting our haters, right? Knowing that the bosses who suck, I don't really care because that's not true, right? And they also know that we are very driven by this millennial energy, long-term thinking, right? This idea is great. And to get all of our clients to come on board and past clients to actually give us a shout out, is actually one of the best things ever. But it's also a series of conversations because not every relationship works out the best. Because we understand that there is this thing in the middle called expectations.
Yes.
And of which when we were back in the day, we were very inexperienced, but we still provided X amount of services, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
What needs to happen from this entire scope, right? Right now, I feel for 2018, two things. One is the approach for my account. Okay. I want to know how you can show us how we're going to build a brand that inspires, right? Not a brand that, I mean, yes, the testimonials for customers, yada yada yada, that's great. You see, what I envision KNA to be is an agency without even selling what we do.
Okay.
That's why if you notice in the bigger picture, if you notice like on my accounts, I never ever talk about what we do as an agency.
Yeah.
I never talk about the micro departments.
So it's more passion.
It's more passion. I always talk about, okay, running a startup, how tough it is to be a business owner, what are the trade-offs, what are some of the sacrifices you have to make, what is the long ball game, why do we work 18 hours a day, why do we invest all our time in our youth to actually get these things done. Why I'm saying this is because we will then be a different company giving a different kind of attention.
Okay.
Everyone around our circle right now needs to understand that the biggest thing that people miss out on is process. Process is everything. Nobody cares about the end result, in my opinion. The end result is of course something that's set in stone when we do the work, speak to our clients and deliver the work. But ultimately, people are more intrigued to know how many times we fucked up, how many times we've actually messed up, how do we come back from the setbacks, how do we overcome the challenges, and how do we go out again stronger than ever, knowing that we learn from the mistakes.
Okay.
Process is every single thing. And this is the main reason why TBP was the main thing ever since we started coming 2.5 years ago. So now my thought about everything is that this is great. And you're really thinking.
Yeah.
I see you have a very good business mind as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very appreciative of that because this actually allows me to want to spend more time with you now.
Okay.
Right? Because I now understand that you have that sort of mindset. But the thing is, how are you going to get that on track for us apart from client work? How can we, production team, come together with Azrul and build that ecosystem? The truth of the matter is that being in this industry, we will do so many mistakes. We will disappoint many people. We will get into a lot of bad blood. And that's the truth of the matter. Because it's just all about expectation.
Yeah.
But of course, we need to do great work.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's about mitigating how we're going to show people the process and the purpose.
Where I stopped was unique clients, right? So unique clients are something that we actually become sort of more interactive with the respective industries. So we're talking about photo, we're talking about video, we're talking about design. And these brings also side income and financial stability to the company without overextending your manpower.
And that's what I like to hear.
Yeah,
That's good. Okay.
exactly. We're not going to shoot the entire film because we already have our work stuff, but we are there to help them, consult them, and these can be used as well to not only bring our names into each respective industry, but it can be also used to expand ourselves as a company. Let's just say we want to implement this, let it happen and stuff like that. So I had a talk with Azrul, I had a talk with Julian. So my plan is the first 6 months is a trial and error, right? So we know what works, what doesn't work, and the next 6 months is the big. So basically finding out whatever works and then we run through that and we make sure that it becomes a lot more stable process. So the first year, 6 and 6, the first year will become an experimental year where we find out whether these unique clients really help, how much do we really bring into the company, and how much influence do we make in each respective industry. And this is talking about design, photo, video, and maybe the copywriting. So once we're done with that, the second year will be the year where, like how Jeremy basically helps navigate through the video team, we have those people as well. What I'm trying to say is with the new implementation of unique clients, which are only unique to certain departments, you need a person who only can report to Julian and Azrul straight. So these people are basically finding out which client sets up when, sends when, and whatever else. So it doesn't mix up with your SMEs, with your 625 pros, your TVPs, and your unique clients. It's a full-on managerial stuff. You can micromanage. So by the third year, if everything works out really well at one point, and your financial status is very, very stable, and we can even perhaps move into the third year, which is expansion. So expansion, like I said, within the first thing I opened with, which is branding and stuff like that, that's where we can target our close by neighbors, which is Indonesia and Brunei, where you expand just from first starting out where your first year, which is you're just trying trial and error. Second year, when you make sure everything is stabilized, you micromanage and add more manpower for management. Third year, when you expand into a bigger, broader stuff. So that in such ways, you have each year, you have 6 months and 6 months and 6 months to make sure that everything goes on track and you can have time for trial and errors. These clients have to be identified by the PMs themselves. Therefore, they understand within each department who is unique enough and what task is suitable enough for them. And it's not only limited to PMs. If you are comfortable, then maybe HODs can also find it. And we don't charge them a big number because it's for a small one. It's supposed to start out small first. It's a gradual start. So we don't charge them big, we start them very small. As more we build trust within the industry, the more people know about us and what we do and how much we can provide and how passionate we are, then we get bigger and bigger and bigger projects. By that time comes, you don't really thin out your manpower, you will end up doubling them or tripling them, and everything should be working just as fine.
Look at where we are, now take a look at where we start.